subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, Tim. So we kind of talked about it. We're going to go to the call on this play now. All right. Again, I just put a tweet up here on this particular play. We want to talk a little Matt LaFleur here. And I'm so sick of the people talking about he's not aggressive enough. He's not this. He's not that. Right. This dude right here. Oh, my bad. I stepped on your feet.
Oh, that's cool. I like it.
This is the actual play. It's just 8 seconds long. Okay. We gave you kind of the breakdown from Tom Brady. This was the live call on it of Jordan Love with the fadeaway pass. Again, guys. You had this is what I put in the tweet. This is why it's important here. Okay. I said, we better never hear another LaFleur hater say he's too conservative. It was 3rd and 3. Detroit had no timeouts, right? And keep in mind, guys, that you can run 40 seconds off the clock on that 3rd down, right? You can literally run 40 seconds off the clock, leave them with roughly a minute left, and they got to go all the way down the field and score a touchdown. You know how many coaches would have played it that way? Your boy right here probably would have played it that way.
Scared money don't make money.
I like our chances with our defense on the field to stop them. Matt LaFleur went out there on 3rd down and said, no, we're not running. We're passing. Threw the ball incomplete. I texted the guys. I was like, God, I wish we'd have ran the football right there. Right. Again, I'm not saying LaFleur should be fired. I'm not saying LaFleur is not I've been very vocal. I think he's too aggressive at times. Right. Going for it on 4th down, passing up on field goals, things like that. But 3rd and 3, Detroit, no timeouts. They passed 4th down instead of punting and pinning them deep and making them go the distance, right? Came out and passed the ball again, and this was the play.
Love looking around, pressure in his face, throws, it is caught! Oh, Dontavian Wicks!
Unbelievable. I love Brady laughing in the background too, Tim. Oh, man, what a moment. What a moment. That's going to be one of those if the Packers go on an epic run here. And they end up putting a championship team together this year. We're going to look back on that play and go, man, that was kind of when things turned around a bit. That's when the offense really kind of put everything together. Guys, we talked about how good their defense was, right? They were essentially somewhere around in the 12 range overall, in my opinion. So this is a borderline top 10 defense that you went up against, and you dropped 34 points on them. My goodness, man. So, and then, of course, here's the meme. This may offend some people. If you got kids watching, pause it, get them out of the room. All right. This is from South Park. This meme gets used over and over and over. But here we go. And it says, and I'm not going to play the video because it's going to tell them what it says, but NFL Memes put a tweet out. Matt LaFleur trying to get into his house for Thanksgiving dinner. And there are 2 things restricting him from getting through the door if you guys are listening on the pod. But that just absolutely cracked me up, Tim. Anything you'd like to add to it?
I'm speechless. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Wow. The internet is undefeated, right?
They really are, man. Dude, it broke me up when I seen that. But no, in all honesty, though, when you talk about what Matt LaFleur is doing here with this team, youngest team in the league, and now you're missing all these different starters, and you just continue to find ways to win football games. Going into this season, Tim, I had us splitting with the Lions. I had us splitting with the Vikings, and I had us sweeping the Bears. That's kind of how I thought the North would go.
We're going to F around and sweep them all. Undefeated in the division. Let's go. It's still on the table.
There's definitely a shot here. Now it's looking like the Bears might be the team. If we're going to split with one of them, it's one of those, right? It could be one of those things. Now we'll find out a little bit more about the Bears today. I said that last week against Pittsburgh, and I don't want to be hypocritical, gang. I want to always be honest with you guys on here. When you look at, I see the super chats. We're going to get them here in just a second. When you look at what they're doing here, the Bears, right? And I don't want this to be a Bears segment. We're talking Matt LaFleur, but I'm just saying, I thought, okay, let's see what they do against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was like top 5 or top 6 in turnover margin, right? Now they were without their starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. However, they were able to move the ball pretty effectively on their defense. The Bears were. So you got to tip your cap. They're figuring out ways to win ball games. Tonight against the Eagles, we're going to kind of see. And listen, the Eagles aren't a perfect team. The Eagles aren't this unbeatable powerhouse that some people think they are. They're good. They're a really good team. I think they're one of the top 5, top 10 teams in the league. But we'll get a few more answers to those questions when it comes to the Bears and just how good they are. But back to Matt LaFleur here. Let's see what we got here. Super chat from Michael. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. He says, let's us pray for all of us who have to hear they finally caught the ball. Matt LaFleur is the best coach. Jordan is the MVP. He didn't call the timeout refs rigged. Yeah. So the whole timeout thing was hilarious too, because he's shouting the timeout, right? And unless you're on the sideline and you can actually hear it or not, you see Matt LaFleur running down the sideline towards the official, right? Before the guy moves on the false start. Matt said he was screaming timeout. And then all you see is before he does this, you see the false start, right? So obviously, if he calls timeout and they asked the officials afterwards, the officials said, yeah, he called timeout before the penalty. That's their answer over and over. He called timeout before the penalty. Called timeout. They didn't say he gestured to us before the penalty. He said he called the timeout before the penalty. That's kind of how I see that. Now, in terms of they finally caught the ball, this and that, right? Like, listen, there have been receivers running open every week, Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the drops. And I love that they're continuing to go to Bo Melton, even though he struggled early on, because he was a little bit of a factor yesterday, man. Some of that quick twitch speed, all these things being thrown into the same pot here. Jordan Love, yeah, I don't know if he's an MVP or not, Michael. I feel like he's definitely top 10. He's in the conversation as a top 5 quarterback. I think you got to kind of be unequivocally the top 1 or 2, the top quarterback or the top 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks before you go, okay, MVP level. But who do we give credit for Jordan Love? You got to give it to Matt LaFleur too, right? I mean, it's Jordan, don't get me wrong. We all know that. The player makes the plays. But who molded Jordan? Who has trained Jordan the whole time, right? It's Matt LaFleur. And I don't think coaches – McCarthy didn't get enough credit for that with Rodgers. He didn't.
That's true.
And I feel the same way about Matt LaFleur with Jordan Love. So what do you think about that? Anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, and Coach Clements as well. Also, hopefully he's enjoying watching these games as in between rounds of golf or whatever he's doing in retirement. But yeah, I think you got to give the quarterback whisperer Matt LaFleur some credit here with Jordan, and really, like you said, you brought up AR-12. I mean, he actually kind of took Jordan under his wing there those first couple of years. And, you see that kind of trickle into Jordan's game now as he's, well within his abilities as a pro and a starting quarterback. So, yeah, I think give credit where credit's due. Jordan could have been drafted by a lot of teams, and you never know what kind of trajectory his career would have taken. Coming here and being a Packer, being able to work with Matt LaFleur in this system and, develop the way we develop quarterbacks makes perfect sense. So you got to give him credit for sure.
Yeah. 2-0 for this in the chat said, notice the major difference between yesterday and the rest of the year is player execution, not play call. Amen.
That's a great point.
And Matt LaFleur hasn't bucked. And again, Michael, thank you for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you. Matt's never bucked either. You didn't see him panic. Even after those tough losses, you didn't see a guy that was up there panicking at the podium. He's grinning, he's cutting up, he's making jokes. I think it pissed a lot of Packer fans off that he was like that. But he could see the plays are there. We just got to execute better. And we know with a young team, Tim, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take time.
That's probably why he reacted that way, because it's like, if things are going wrong, obviously things went wrong, but you know why, and you know what the reason is, and you know how to fix it. This is the result you get. You learn from your mistakes, and that's a great point from Too Old for This Day. Execution was there, and Matt was in his bag. I mean, we can't take away the credit for the play calls. You mentioned Bo Melton on some of those jet motions and things like that. You need to run the jet motion against a heavy man defense. It helps. You get those guys moving around. It gives Jordan some intel there right before the snap, and even if you don't turn the corner and you're only getting a couple yards, whatever, it's giving you that information that you need to keep the drive, alive down the field. So I think Matt called a great game yesterday. Really do.
And the reason they call it cheat motion is because you're kind of cheating. You're getting your guy full speed. You guys remember back in the old Arena Football League? Remember that league where they could get a run and go towards the line of scrimmage and take off? That's against the rules in the NFL. But moving horizontally like that, you can kind of get that same momentum. Now you're up to full speed and the corner's got to catch up. So like Tim said, it allows you to gather information. Are they in man or are they in zone? And then B, you can out leverage them, by getting a half a step or a full step on that guy out of the gate. And then also that motion flashes across those linebackers' eyes, and the instinct is go that way. Crap, we got to come back this way. Oh no, it's play action. There's a wide open space right behind me because I've hesitated, right? It creates hesitation. It's all those things, right? And you got to have players that can do it. So Mike Witt with the super chat, thank you, says, I think Wicks will be our number 2, Watson number 1, and then 3 and 4 will be Reed and Golden next year, because unfortunately I think 87 leaves in free agency next year. I could see that playing out. I could. Yeah. And again, that's the beautiful thing about this receiving core when they're making plays, is you don't have to have Golden step up immediately. You know, there's this portion of the fan base that just wants Golden to be the target. If you target him the way Seattle targets JSN, then he would have similar results. I'm not arguing with that, right? But that's not how Matt LaFleur's offense works. Matt LaFleur's offense, you're scheming guys open. It's not just that's the dude, hell or high water, throw him. Now you could try to put him in the number 1 progression in that read, right? Or you could try to put him in, say, let's say a team, you know, they show a lot of cover 2 zone, right? Let's say they show a lot of cover 2 zone on tape, and you're going to come out and go, we're going to go run a pick aside, right? You're going to have a high-low read here, and then let's say we have a flood concept on the other side. Well, knowing that they play cover 2, you know, in that situation, if they're playing hard flat cover 2 as opposed to like a drop cover 2, then let's say they're playing hard flat, then you can put the guy that you want to showcase in the mid read on that flood concept. You can do things like that, right? And I think Matt LaFleur has done that with Golden in the past, but he's also done it with Watson. He's got to do it with Witt. He's got to do it with all these guys. So there's just no room for anybody selfish on this team. And the beautiful thing is Matthew Golden isn't screaming, get me the ball, hell or high water. Christian Watson definitely isn't, which is why I want that dude under contract for the rest of his freaking career. He does the dirty work with those C inserts and blocking and some of those Z to wing sets and everything. So
pay that man his money.
Mike, I think you make a great point, man. I think that might be Matt LaFleur's plan. Although the only thing I disagree with is when you look at Watson and say he's our number 1, what does that mean, right? Some people think that means he gets the majority of the targets. Other people think that means that everything that the offense is going to be built around him and run through him. I see a true number 1 wide receiver as someone who tilts the field. The defense goes out and says, that's a Tuesday player. We got a bracket cover him. I don't think Watson's there yet, but he's getting there, and it's exciting. And that's nothing against Christian. It's just how the offense is operated, that teams know, guys, they're going to try to throw the open guy. They're not going to try to force it to Christian all day. So if you take their eyes off Christian for a minute, guess what? He's the open guy in that particular place. So thank you for that super chat. And Mike again says, I don't think he's MVP, but Love, in my opinion, is comparable to Jalen Hurts. Probably never win an MVP, but you can definitely win a Super Bowl with. I think that's a fair assessment. I do think Love can win an MVP because we've seen those flashes, right, Tim, back half of 2023. Hell, this year, 3 interceptions, right? That's what he's got on the year, 3 interceptions.
He could go on a tear these next few weeks and all of a sudden really be in that conversation. Be careful. You know, Toyotathon is upon us.
It is. It is, sir. And since we're talking about that, before we're going to jump into some Jordan Love talk. Before we do, let us know in the comments, what do you think about Matt LaFleur? Do you think he's turned a corner? Maybe we could put all the criticism behind him. There's still going to be ups and downs. That's the NFL. But man, oh man, does he just continue to climb up that winning percentage ranking and doing it with the youngest team and a banged up team at that. Let us know how you feel about Matt LaFleur. Where would you rank him currently in the NFL? Would you say he's a top 5 coach, top 3 coach? We want to hear from you guys in the comments. And if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. All right, Tim,